There are three magic words that we all aim to hear. When you're a top laner, there's only three words that you don't want to see. Well, if you're specific characters, you love seeing them flash across your board and for your entire team. Now, we'll get into those three magic words later on as we get throughout the day and look into the replays. But let's start off right at the top. RMC, the draft I found for EGP was solid. It was exactly what they needed, and then RF happened.
Yeah, you know what? I loved what EGP did. We heard it from Aoki last game as well. Just pick a lane to play through. They took away the Gwen, sort of what messed up their draft last time. They played through it. Beautiful double support for Olaf, gorgeous. But like you said, R5 for Ginger Turmeric here. I'm in an Nivea main. I love to see it. I don't think it's a great blindable pick right now, but when you get a comp like this with an Olaf, with the Sivir, champions who can't run through terrain, they can't dash over, they literally walk around it. I think it was a beautiful pick, and it worked out really well till the end.
Yeah, that it worked until it didn't kind of philosophy, right? Which is nice, like it's fun, it's cool, but by the end of it, if you can't do much around it, then that is unfortunate. But okay, I also want to get your overall quick thoughts before we dive into the replays on how you thought the game went. Let's not dive too deep because I know we get special moments prepared.
Oh, a lot of throws, two in particular, which I know we're gonna get to. I mean, games like this are just honestly soul crushing, man. Like heartbreaking. You've got the game in your hands, and it's just one or two members are out of sync or stepping a little too far forward, and it just turns the dust in your hands. It really, really sucks to see that, like, such a dominant lead thrown away when you're right there at the finish line.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Simply there, out of grasp, you reach for it, but cannot seem to find it. But let's figure out how we got there. Because right at the beginning, for Ginger Turmeric, things seemed to be going beautifully. The early game was decently even, but then RMC, they got a massive object.
Yeah, so actually EGP ended up pulling out an early lead with the Olaf. Eventually they did manage to start leveraging that early, and Turmeric fell behind. But this was the play that put them back into the lead, which they then retained right up to the end of the game here. And it was the Baron speak. This is exactly at 20 minutes here. The moment Baron spawned, Ginger Turmeric hopped into it, and it caught EGP off guard. They weren't expecting it. By the time they see it, it's too late. Off that Baron play, Ginger Turmeric got the Vayne online. Legrain got to pop off.
And I think that wasn't just the end of it, right? Considering it wasn't just about popping off. It wasn't just about how they got a massive lead off of that. They were able to get a couple of towers. They're finally able to execute on just the Ocean Soul objective, right? Considering that team having Ocean Soul, especially on EGP, is not super great. Turmeric, we're turning things around. Things were cool. And then, things suddenly turned into an absolute massacre, Yoki.
Yeah, coming into the that next team fight with EGP, they're running Olaf and double Enchanter. So this next team fight that we're going to take a look at, it looks forced, but it's also something that they have to do. There is a precedent for you to make plays like this, even if it looks like you're kind of diving a little too deep. The tower goes down, and then there comes a point in the team fight where they realize, oh my God, we're too deep, aren't we? And at that point, it's too late. And I'm going to be real. I think Legrain is a little upset that he was put on Tom Kench duty last game, because he comes into that team fight right when you want a marksman to enter it, right after all the pivotal spells have been blown. They have nothing left to kill the Vayne, and he just starts gunning them down, just mowing them down. And he's like, I'm on a real champion now. I'm not on Tom Kench anymore, buddy.
No, he doesn't have to, right? There's no need to put out the Devourers, no need to go for the Abyssal Dyers, right? You don't gotta stun, tongue lash nobody. You are the savior, you are judge, jury, and executioner. You can do whatever you want, and he did exactly that. The Vayne pick hyperscale, then things from there absolutely skyrocketed of GDC. They managed to get the next two dragons. They got a couple of towers, and even some of the picks are going their way, especially off of DNA, who has been performing so immaculately so far throughout the series. But then suddenly GT's decided, you know what, RMC, this game isn't competitive enough. What if we decided to make this more interesting?
Oh my goodness, Rap. DNA gives, and unfortunately DNA takes away here. And you heard it from the casters, right? DNA steps up into melee range, something that is just not something you can do. The the wall was perfect as well. There was no need to step up, and they were in a lead. They were slowly closing it up. But the moment DNA goes down, without that wall that we were talking about, you see the Olaf unleashed. You see the Sivir unleashed as well. And they just keep running on through, gunning them down. And the problem was, with the way the kills fell as well, from there, Ginger Turmeric never quite found their footing after that.
No, they couldn't, because from there, they were down so long that actually delayed their backs too because of how late Akali had died. And so they were actually fighting a 4v5, but even when they got together as 5, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. They were all there because it's like Professor Oak telling you something you can't do here. Those 3 magic words here, Aoki. Say them out loud and proud for me, will you?
Gwen is immune. I'm gonna lose my freaking mind, man. I'm pissed. I'm sorry. Excuse my language. I'm pissed though. I'm pissed at Ginger Turmeric for the throws. Because now you guys messed up my sleep schedule. Now we gotta go to game 3. And I'm also pissed at Riot Games for leaving this stupid ability in the game. And also, why do we have to see it written out? It drives me insane. Gwyn is immune. Gwyn is immune. We get it, bro. We get it. You put the most unplayable against ability in the game. It's not fun. Take it out. Take it out.
So let's look at that last team fight where Aoki is so furious, shall we? And you guys at home watching, just count how many times those 3 wonderful words pop up on your screen. Shall we? We'll go ahead and keep tab at home as this fight starts. It looks good. Everything looks fine until it doesn't. Just watch Faisal, who is this god amongst men.
There it is.
Yep,
there it is again.
What is immune? What is immune? What is immune? And then suddenly with a Gwen and a Yumi, you can simply do nothing. He 1v5s because the healing is disgusting. Conqueror is good. And yeah.
Shout out to supports, man. They're just broken right now.
Disgusting, man.
It makes you want to vomit, doesn't it? It's crazy, bro. Because those 3 wonderful words have kept them in the game, and we were talking about how good Faisal is, how he's one of simply, if not he's one of the best team fighters within this league. And EGP, the thing is, he's able to accomplish our redonkulous. And that is example 8 right there, add that one to the highlight reel where he literally 1v9s that fight and wins the game for them. And because of that, we're getting game number 3 here, my friends. But I know y'all are excited to see and get into it. I'm gonna let Yoki calm down a bit, catch his breath. So while we do that, let's go to some other breathtaking casters that we have ready for us with these smacks and deathstrokes.
Ravish, I haven't caught my breath yet, man. I'm not ready after what Aoki just laid down on that analyst desk. My God, we got rid of RBM. I thought the heat was gone, but no, Aoki just laid it on thick with the Gwen.
Yeah, so some bold takes, honestly, from our desk guests today to flame Riot on Riot channels. But, you know, that's all right. we're going to push through it. What is it? You heard it there.
Infuriating to say the least. It's like the old days League of Legends, Tryndamere, the Undying Rage, and just seeing that pop up over and over again. This is the new generation of that. Even with Tryndamere coming back in the meta. Yeah, screw the meta. Meta's dead. We're out of here. Let's get back into this game. Ginger Turmeric versus EG Prodigies. And we're headed to a game number 3, Smacks. What a comeback. A beautiful play coming out from all of EGP to make that work. You know, Faisal was one we highlighted, but you have to watch the ults of Leo and Dapshin when they were able to make that come together.
Yeah, I can't believe that they actually managed it, but those team fights were just too clean. At the end of the day, they actually were able to scrape by despite the comp difference that we highlighted all throughout that game. The last pick of Nivea was so stellar against that entire composition, and they just couldn't quite manage to make it work at the end of the day in the last few team fights. We saw that clip right there on the analyst desk when he's walking into melee range against the Gwen. That's not something that you want to do on a Nivea. And I'm sure that DNA is kicking himself over that one. I'm sure that we don't need to highlight it that much for him. But it was definitely a big reason why Ginger Turmeric lost that game and are now facing a game 3. As we're going to be getting into the draft pretty soon. I believe Ginger Turmeric are on blue side. So first side swap of this series.
Yeah, it's not something to harp on too much. I mean, yeah, he did give a lot away with some of those Nivea plays, but he's trying to make plays was the big thing there. He was trying to set up the wall. It's good to see someone overstep, and then it's easier to come back from that and just dial it back down when you come into the next game. So I don't think too much is really lost for DNA here in terms of morale. As we do head up into the next matchup now with, as you just stated right now, Ginger Turmeric being on the blue side. Is there anything you think will shift in terms of priority?
I would be surprised if Evil Genius's Prodigies can get away with banning the same 3 champions on red side instead. I feel like they're probably going to take a look at that Gwen champion and ban that one instead. It just depends on which thing they want to have fall through the cracks. They have been banning Syndra, Tristana, and Callista. All 3 of those are off the board. And while Ginger are also taking away a lot of these marksmen, I feel, a lot of these marksmen, I feel on red side you're in a bit more of a bind, so maybe EGP makes some adjustments there in the bans, even though they just won.
I don't want that to be an understatement, by the way. 5 marksman bans, 2 marksmen picked up on the side of Ginger Turmeric. They really targeted that pull on Sketch. And to be fair, to some extent, it was working. Sketch kind of looked like he was backed into a corner when he was playing the Rift.
The Sivir not quite as comfortable as we're used to seeing Sketch be on this Rift. And yeah, I think for Sketch now on red side, he will probably just have to pick his champion earlier than that, so he doesn't get 5 champions banned away from him, rather just 1. And we're going back to the first of many adjustments. Senna off the board, alongside the Callista, so Evil Genius's Prodigies are already changing things up a bit.
It's an adjustment, Smacks. They're just leaning into the same bans as Ginger Turmeric. They're going after the ADCs as well. No marksman allowed. No marksman allowed. Full 6 marksman bans coming up from Ginger Turmeric and Evil Genius's Prodigies. But that leaves the Gwen on the board. Gwen is immune. Gwen is immune. Gwen is now in the hands of existence.
I would have banned Gwen personally if I were Evil Genius's Prodigies, but I am not.
No!
Oh no!
No! Get it off!
Get this off my screen! She's back. Ginger Turmeric is playing it. It is a flex pick too, so it could very well be in the jungle against Evil Genius's Prodigies, who did select Ziggs, so very likely will be a Ziggs and AP threat for Sketch streams this time around, not a marksman.
Yeah, so with all the marksmen being banned out, screw it. Go back to it works in the pool. Take the mid laners, take them back to the ADC role. Zig's going to be locked in from the side of EGP. Going to combo that with the Viego as well. Ginger Turmeric, you were talking about the Syndra. It's going to be locked in. Lots of pick potential now I'm seeing coming out of Ginger Turmeric with some of the things they're able to grab in this round.
And we're about to find out why the Syndra has been banned in the other games of this series from Evil Genius Prodigies too, with that one going over to DNA. Very comfortable on that champion. Has provided them with a lot of early game agency alongside this Kha'Zix. Feels like this game is not quite the same late game just bloodbath that we just witnessed. With the Jace as well, that secures it here, Deathrex. We are not nearly going to go as long as this last game.
And thank goodness. I don't think we could hold out anymore. Some of these have been slobber knockers, Max. We got 2 series in the day already. Both very close games. You know, with the last game of the previous series that we had just seen being Immortals AoE and Redboard Esports being down to the last auto attack on a Nexus. Especially with this last game. It was just a comeback coming through from EGP. Faisal was enabled, and he took that opportunity to clean through everyone. He's now taking that on the Jace this time around.
You know, I just want to quickly acknowledge what you're saying. These games are all in the same group today. So
Right.
Evil Genius Prodigies, Ginger Turmeric,
I didn't think
Redbird,
about that.
and Immortals AoE are all in the same group. Whoever wins this match plays against Immortals. Whoever loses plays against Redbird. This is a tight
It's the
race.
unofficial group of death. That's what it
Yeah,
is. Group of death people didn't see coming.
It's a very, very competitive time here in Group B.
Group B's
boy.
off to the races. Second round of the draft coming through. Supports being the focus of Evil Genius's Prodigies as they take away the Braum and Leona. Ginger Turmeric to start targeting Faisal. Jack's taken away. One more ban to come through. Counter pick will go over to EGP.
Yeah, really curious that the Jax is being banned. They're expecting that Jace is going mid lane to Leo, and I don't know if they're going to be right about that. Quite, to be quite honest, Faisal could definitely be rocking this Jace. He won't be rocking the Jax or the Akali because those are off the board. But that one, they're going for the hard read there and not banning out any of these supports for Evil Genius's Prodigies, leaving Rel as the option for Daption.
Interesting. It's been a while since we've seen the Rel get locked in.
Yeah.
When Rel was popular, it was one of the most lethal engages you could watch. I remember it being paired with the Nocturne because you could hide the Rel ult using that ultimate in combination. It's quite a spicy pick to come out of Daption. It's going to be returned by an engager of their own in the form of Nautilus on Duo King.
Yeah, the only other player in all of North America that is playing this pick is Shenny on TSM. He pulled it out a few times in the Academy week last week, which was pretty fun. But it's definitely not very popular, definitely not in the meta at all. So just showing that Daption is very comfortable on this pick. And he did play it a lot last year in the Proving Grounds year of 2021. So we know that this is a pick that he has a lot of time and practice in. And he will have to make this one work as Evil Genius's Prodigies, they pick Irelia in this game. Whew.
So, pulling no stops here. Irelia gets locked in, and that's going to be Irelia going over to Leo. So, the Jace guaranteed to go over towards that top side now. That will be the Gwace. I just combined them together. The Jace versus Gwen matchup into the Irelia versus Syndra.
There used to be a player in our space called Gwace as well. So
Yeah.
A nice shout out to him. But yeah, it is indeed Jace top lane, it looks like, for Faisal, unless we're switching up the lanes a little bit. Leo playing this Irelia into Syndra. This is the champion that they've been banning out for the entire series up until this point. Leo had a lot of champions at his disposal to pick into this. He's going with the Irelia, a very big skill matchup, and one that does scale pretty well, but you think more of what this champion's capable of doing in the lane. And again, I say this is pretty likely going to be a shorter game than the last one, as I'm not quite certain if that is intentional on the Senna there for Daption, whether that is intentional or if it's indeed the Rel that we saw before.
Yeah, we'll get some word on that.
It was banned, so it can't be Senna. Yeah, it's
Yeah. We'll get a follow-up on that. As for DNA being on the Syndra, he's only played it once during the Open Qualifiers. It was his most played champ last year in 2021, so he's very proficient as a champion. It's going to be something that's quite scary because City Witty is also on the Kazakhs. The pick potential is what is enormous here for Ginger Turmeric.
For sure. They have so much single target damage, and they can get things started off really well with Scatter the Weak and Dredgeline now with Duo King on Nautilus. Single target damage doesn't quite stop in their crowd control either. Ezreal and Syndra and Gwen and everybody just want to kill people one by one, not to mention the king of isolation in Kazakhs. The same is pretty true for Evil Genius if we think of more team fighting with their bot lane. The rest of it, though, just wants to kill people one by one and get resets for parry on this Viego. So, gonna be some pretty brutal skirmishes and team fights, I feel.
And there's a lot of frustrating pressure out of Evil Genius's Prodigies when they do set up for a siege. When they are looking to set up for an objective, there's so much poke you're going to have to deal with. The shock blast and the bombs that come out of Sketch on the Sigs. You are going to have to respect that. And for Ginger Turmeric, respecting that means pulling the trigger as fast as possible, not allowing EGP to get that chip damage in before a fight.
Yeah, there's chip damage on both teams, but you're 100% right. Ziggs and Jace is really just too much to overcome, most likely when it comes to especially the Drake fights and the Baron fights and that sort of thing. So definitely going to watch out for that. Sketch, I saw they show us yet another step below into their champion pool. We're getting down to the deep end at this point with the Ziggs and the Jace. I'm really enjoying the different looks from Evil Genius's Prodigies.
Yeah, this tournament is going to really stretch Sketch to his limits.
Yeah.
He's going to play pretty much every champion in the pool. Mid lane's not enough. They'll ban him out there. He'll start playing top lane champions since the bot lane. Yep. We already saw the Tom Ken split earlier, so hey, why not?
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta ban like 150 champions in League of Legends, and then maybe he'll be uncomfortable in these games. Yeah, I think this is a really interesting one too. It's not the same level of DPS that we're used to seeing from sketch streams, so it'll be another element to him that is honestly a pretty big difference than what we're even used to seeing.
So we are having another set of difficulties that are coming up. While we resolve them, we are going to throw it over a short break. When we return, we'll head back to the Rift for this game number 3 of Turmeric versus Evil Genius's Prodigies. Alright, those technical difficulties are completely ironed out, and we're ready to wrap up this day. One more match, this game number 3, Ginger Turmeric versus Evil Genius's Prodigies.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
This is a good time. We are now getting confirmation that it is indeed Rel. It was just a visual thing, so we're here, and it is Glacial Rel, which is a new rune for this champion that I haven't seen a whole lot of. Obviously, you typically see the Aftershock, so just more team utility available, sort of exhausting everybody on the opposition.
Hell of a push in to come out from Sketch and Daption once can get the bouncing bombs going. Can get that pressure. It's one that's hard to capitalize off of now that Lagrange has taken Ezreal. Now Ezreal is that safer champion, doesn't mind really being under his tower, has plenty of tools to get out if any potential tower dives do come his way.
That's a good point. You are potentially going to see some of those, honestly, onto Evil Genius's Prodigies, because you look across the board. It can really happen anywhere, because a lot of these champions that Evil Genius has drafted really want to have pressure and have priority in their lanes, except for Ziggs, which means that there probably won't be a jungler hovering him. So if Sidiwitty and DNA want to come down and pay a visit to this bottom lane, they likely won't be matched as well, considering Perry will very likely want to be near the Jace from Arcane.
Chase from Arcane. This meme is not ending anytime soon, is it, Smax?
No, it is not.
I mean, it was already in like the questionnaire that we had for these players. What's your favorite Arcane?
That was also my idea. So
that was your idea, Smax? What,
yes,
you
it
put
was.
this on us?
I did ask them that question. Yeah.
Who's your favorite?
That's a good question. I really like Silco and Vander. I think both of them are just really good characters.
I agree on Silco there.
I'm into dads, I guess. What can I say?
That's fair. You do spend a lot of time with Cubby.
True. He's got some dad energy, that guy.
Ooh, look at this. The clap coming in from Perry as he attempts to set up a dive. Not a dive, excuse me, a gank. Doesn't realize around the corner is Sidiwitty. City's not even going to respond to it. Knows that DNA is perfectly safe.
Yeah, it's good movement right there for DNA, too. I really like that from him dodging out on the stun, and Perry just going for a drive-by. Was convenient on the timing, stopping by and making sure that Leo isn't left completely out to dry in this melee versus ranged matchup, which, despite the gank, he kind of is. So you can see that reflected in the CS right now. DNA is getting a pretty good amount of damage into the CS right now. Hey, look at
Thanks,
that.
Max. Thanks.
That's my question that I asked.
What's your favorite character from Arcane? Victor from Arcane.
I named my cat after Victor from Arcane. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. Is it the full name, though? That's the question, Smash.
No, his name is just Victor. The way that we do it is we do first name, and then their middle name is whatever the shelter decided to name the cat. So.
Ah, that's cute. I've never thought of putting a middle name like that.
Yeah. So our first cat's name is Pat, but his middle name is Banana Muffin, because that's what the shelter called him.
Go find Cinnamon Bread. Go donate that pet over to him.
Well, no, I love Pat. He's my
That sounds
boy.
like a good combo: cinnamon bread and banana muffin.
I like banana muffins.
I
Why
like
can't
cinnamon
I
bread.
have my cat?
Okay, you know
Keeping
what?
my
Fair.
cat, Deserex.
Fair. I'll let you keep the cat. I'll let you keep the cat. As long as we can close this out in game number 3, then you can keep the cat.
And in a shock twist of events, we need a game 4 so that we stay casting League of Legends forever. Oh man, it's
thank
been a
goodness
long
there's
but
no
fun
ties
day.
in League. Man.
I gotta bring the Academy best of 2 system to this. It honestly is a pretty good system.
I like this.
Yeah, it's nice time. Anyway.
Ooh, City's liking this opportunity. Jumping forward, Faisal doesn't get close enough, though. Faisal not going to continue with that aggression at a good time. City stalking out, just going to roam back into the river.
Swing gaining a lot of distance between Faisal and Existence, so it's to push in the rest of this wave and likely take a recall as he's completely out of mana. Up quite a bit of CS in this matchup, so despite Leo falling behind in a pretty big, meaningful way, Faisal is doing quite well for himself, and looks like he actually is staying in this lane too, doesn't want to use his teleport quite yet.
Not going to teleport just yet. Waiting for that next major purchase that he's able to save up for. As, unfortunately, some problems with the camera feed, technical difficulties. It's North American Amateur.
Is frightful, it looks like.
Wouldn't be without it. I don't know. The world's been snowstorm. You want to talk about snowstorms? Los Angeles, California. We had hail here. My car was covered in snow, which
really
was abstract to me completely.
Yeah, I've never heard of that happening in California. That's crazy. It happens in Michigan all the time, so I definitely know the feel. It's terrible to drive in. I'm sure you experienced a bit of that as well. Welcome to the
if
dark
only
side.
if only we still had a Nivea picked in this, then we'd have the perfect segue from snow to DNA. But this early game going rather slow so far in this, and a lot of respect from both of the teams. This is a match point. Again, you did mention earlier, it is double elimination, so losing here doesn't get you removed from your group. You still get another chance.
But this group is really hard also. You have to face Redbird, and they almost took down Immortal's AoE, so I don't know if that's really a true reward. Being in double elimination against them, it's going to be a hard-fought battle regardless. Wouldn't you know it, it's League of Legends again.
What is this group, man? Group B. Group Banger. That's what it stands for.
True. Like that B emoji. It's just like a really big red
just
letter
a red
B.
B. Yeah.
I was not talking about the Bumble variety right there. So.
Get
Although
XT back.
I do love bumblebees.
Get XT back. Do you like Jazz? Miss him. Miss him. We need him.
He's helping on No Team. They're playing tomorrow, so.
Ah, true. I completely forget he's involved with No Team.
Yeah.
Amateur community.
Always
We all love
manages
each other
to-
over here.
Always managed to put together the craziest teams. That always somehow manage to work. I don't know how he does it. Elton Mock. Man's a genius.
Attempted duo roam from Daption and Perry. Look at this. They're playing really key right now. Going deep into the jungle. They haven't been spotted out. They might catch Existence in rotation. They don't know where Existence is coming from, though. So they're forfeiting this a little bit early. Existence is actually going to spot him out, but didn't see Daption behind. Realizes, yeah, I got to take a retreat for this.
Not going to actually net them a whole lot in the end. Daption and Perry spotted out. Gives City Witty on this Kha'Zix enough time to go and start up the Drake again. Very similar to what happened in the first game. As TN just gets to yoink the blue buff away into the turret range. Of course, turrets and jungle camps are friends, in case you didn't know. They do not shoot the jungle camps.
But they shoot the minions. How sad.
They do. Yeah, well, minions are like specifically on the other team. The jungle camps are part of the Summoner's Rift as much as the turrets are. So,
Saying they're just collateral damage in this war of Rift we play amongst each other. This is making Rift sad now.
yeah,
This is the dark timeline. We're just leaning into it.
I wonder if minions have feelings. I know our we will have to ask random minion caster. He's our best analyst, so maybe he knows.
RMC.
Random minion caster, do you experience emotions?
Alright, get him on the desk real quick, Hyper. Don't worry about it.
We're just gonna be his therapy for tonight. We're getting into 8 minutes. We're seeing City Witty. He's on the top side of the map. He's got a lot of camps available, so probably not going to be a direct Rift Herald attempt right now. I say that he's pinging it, so camps are overrated. Go and take the Herald.
City Witty on this Kha'Zix last time was just pretty much a power farmer. I guess I'm not sure if he got information on where Perry was, but this is probably what's enabling that right now, along with Faisal not being in lane. So Existence, knowing that recall was already made, gives City Witty at least enough room to attempt his Herald. Over the wall, still waiting. He's going to be Perry. He'll hop over with the blast bomb. He doesn't actually hop over. Did realize it in the time, but City Witty's still going to grab the Herald and be able to get away.
Yeah, interesting. I wonder if that was intentional for Perry. I wonder if he actually meant to hop the wall. Regardless, he does not, and Rift Herald is taken by Ginger Turmeric. Both early objectives by the Kazakhs. Pretty big deal, honestly, as Perry has been sort of roaming the Rift. We saw earlier he and Daption were attempting a play top, didn't quite land, and even with all of the map rotations, Perry down in objectives, down in CS, down in experience, City Witty scaling up on Kazakhs quite nicely.
And in the context of this series, putting game number 1 into mind, this is pretty big for Ginger Turmeric. Perry controlled a lot of the early game neutral objectives to give EGP a way back into this, to give them a fighting chance. So City Witty being able to get control of that very early on into this game is really closing in on those windows of victory that EGP are looking for.
Very respectful flash right there from DNA. Didn't quite feel confident enough to survive that even with something like Scatter the Weak. Just flashing out of the Irelia ultimate. Leo doesn't actually have any mana, so I don't know how devastating it actually would have been for him to get hit by all of that, but he's not willing to find out. So we're seeing City Witty on the top side of the map. Man, those bot camps really are overrated. He's not going for those at all.
City Witty waiting out Perry, spotted out by the sweeper, but Duo King is there over the wall with the blast plant. Control Ward to watch the pathing of City as he jumps right onto Faisal. Faisal tees up Existence, punts him away. It's not going to be enough. First Blood goes over to City Witty, but the engage follows onto Duo King. Perry with the ultimate. The hook is not going to land onto the wall. It's going to be Duo King landing onto the floor. Ginger Turmeric now looking for the retreat deep into enemy lines, though, as one recall falls through. Existence will not get the same benefit. A flash forward coming out of Daption, denying the execute. You're just waiting for one more auto. It's not even going to be picked up by Sketch. No assist for Sketch. Kill straight to Daption.
Haven't you heard, Desrex? Gwen is immune. Can't actually be hit by the Sig's bomb right there. I thought Aoki said that enough times last desk segment. Regardless, City Witty makes his way up to this lane and actually does manage to get first blood for himself. It's a nice bump in terms of gold, and City Witty finds the escape path too. So pretty big deal for the Kazakhs to survive everything. Very accelerated in the jungle, and Existence only donating this kill gold to the support could have been a lot worse for Ginger Turmeric.
Gwen is immune. These are words that are going to haunt so many top laners in League of Legends for this season. Take a look at the state of the game. Evil Genius's Prodigies with a gold deficit, but still getting kill leads. Got to watch as that one kill that Ginger Turmeric have picked up has gone on to City Witty, finishing that Dusk Blade, so playing really heavily into that carry role.
More stealth for the bug. Gets more damage off with that one also. I'm really enjoying what City Witty is able to do on this Kazakhs. It reminds me of Mordio from the last tournament.
Oh, yes.
Man, I miss Mordio. For those of you who weren't watching the other stream, this is maybe a disrespectful time to bring it up. Hold on.
Ooh, might be. The engage onto DNA, but
Wow.
DNA returns fire. True Shot Barrage goes wide. An instant pull of the trigger from Ginger Turmeric, and they find a kill on an engage that EGP wanted.
Wow. And Leo oversteps this time around. No flash to keep himself safe. And as we look at the gold, you can see members of Evil Genius's Prodigy is kind of struggling. Outside of top, Existence is really in the pits right now. Everyone else, though, cannot quite keep up with the ferocity of Ginger Turmeric. Another Drake, another objective goes their way, and SRX, this is feeling very, very similar to game one of this series.
I don't want to speak too soon, Smax. I really don't want to speak too soon, because I wasn't expecting that comeback that EGP were able to pull off in that last game. And you are seeing that Faisal is getting a lot of attention towards his top side, has gotten quite a bit of CS ahead of Existence. Getting that income onto the Jace is always very pivotal. Jace is a very high income hungry champion. So he does have 2 plates already. Again, that 30 CS lead that we had just talked about a moment ago takes the teleport back into lane. And he will be one of the big points here for EGP as he continues to farm up and scale.
Scale he will need to do against this team to get the poke online that we highlighted before. Jace and Ziggs together are quite the dynamic duo when it comes to these objectives, and EG Prodigies frankly have about 9 minutes to actually have that come to fruition. That's about the time that it'll take for the 4th Drake to spawn, and if they give this 3rd one to Ginger Turmeric, that is the big win condition that they're looking for. Exactly the same Drakes as we got last game, as a kill happened in top lane, another one.
Ooh, 2 kills going down. Perry looking for more. Existence willing to challenge. Level 10 to level 9. Existence having a little bit of an advantage here. Perry pops the ultimate, goes in, but not willing to take the fight. Existence is starting to back off as well, but the 1v1 looking to be contested. Smite being used from Perry to continues getting the auto, but comes the invulnerability. Still looking to find more. Existence will just challenge the fight. Not going to take it all the way. Oh,
DNA,
oh boy.
solo kill mid. Should have banned it again. You needed it a 3rd time, Evil Genius's Prodigies. DNA is way too good on this champion. And Deserex, let's watch this fight.
I want to see what happened over here. It looks like both junglers had the exact same idea, going for the counter ganks onto each other. City Witty gets the kill on the back end of it, though. A close exchange between both of the top laners and junglers.
Yeah, we saw the aftermath of this one. Nothing quite happens at the end of the day. And apart from that mid lane solo kill, but we all saw that one here for DNA. What a stellar performer in this series. Apart from that one, Nivea misstep. We don't have to mention. City Witty tries to steal away the Rift Herald, or the Rift Scuttler, so that he can do the Rift Herald later. Perry denies that. And we have a lot of members of Evil Geniuses over here trying to make sure they don't get cleanly swept before 20 minutes on all of the objectives.
Oh, this is rough right here, because, yep, aggro was just looking to reset. Rift Herald. Shelly, she's got her health back. Gonna go for another pull here. City Witty, I don't think he's going for it. Actually, yep. Still gonna keep going through. I mean, the Scuttle is right there. Mid lane tower gets taken. Pushed in deeply. DNA having an inside track for this. He starts rotating towards the bottom side, though. And this is going to leave City Witty alone, so he can't grab this Rift Herald.
It's not going to stop him from trying right now, Deserex. He's got a smite, and when there's a will, there's a way.
I misses.
I think he will leave, so not more of that. And it won't reset either. That's taken by Faisal, giving the gold over to the top laner yet again. And picked up by Perry. Will not be completely shut out of this game. It's not a perfect one.
Perfect one. Grabbing that Rift Herald. Gonna feel nice for Perry. Now, no more tower plates available. You want to get that to result in the tower. Where are you looking to put the gold here? Do you continue trying to get Faisal that far ahead of Existence, where Existence is going to be a non-factor? Do you look to open up the mid lane more to get a good influx of gold onto Leo, who has been doing decently?
I really like opening up Sketch to take the turrets, so wherever Sketch is, I feel, is where the Rift Herald should land. You have the extra satchel charge to explode that one, even if you can't quite manage the full turret with just the Rift Herald, so no matter where they want to go with it, I think Sketch is just going to be there to bolster that extra damage. Right now, feels like Sketch really needs to be in this Drake pit already, as it's 10 seconds away from spawning. He is not here, Faisal's not here. They have teleports specifically for Sketch. He'll probably be back on the Rift if they want to contest this. And there he goes. They're going to at least try to deny this soul point.
Alright, here we go. EGP starting to group up. Ginger Turmeric setting his 5 as well over on the opposite side of the Dragon Pit. It has been pulled by Perry. Going to have a lot of zone control to work with as the minefield goes down from Sketch. And a big tunnel in for Ginger Turmeric. They have to watch their footing. Be very careful. This poke is going to keep coming in. You're going to keep seeing those bouncing bombs. Shock Blast goes wide. It's cooldown not available for a little bit. Shock Blast having the longer cooldown in comparison to the bouncing bombs. The City Witty tries to find an inside flank, but there is the hook, and there is the damage on the Perry. Perry forced the flash away, but returning fire is going to be Leo. City Witty will get one kill. It's a 1-for-1 exchange as EGP are able to get a foot ahead and take down Duo King as well. They will be the ones to claim the Drake.
Harry able to survive with the skin of his teeth thanks to the flash, and he's able to reset also thanks to the Viego passive. So much healing to be had from this champion, and Ginger Turmeric right about now are wishing they had just pushed mid. That's going to be the soul point denied. Evil Genius's Prodigies deny the really big scaling element in this game, and in doing so, kill the enemy jungler.
It feels like this is where we're seeing the fault in Ginger Turmeric. When it comes to these neutral objectives, they did get some sneaky ones in the games prior, but EGP are so much better about planning around this. Now EGP looking for defense over on this top side. Scatter of the Week goes out, does not land onto Faisal. They will be able to defend the tower on this top side, and look at the bottom side of the map. EGP grab one.
See if Ginger Turmeric want to stick around. Looks like at least Lagrange does, remaining in this one. Going for the Divine Sunderer build, so just more sustain on this champion than the other ones that we've seen in the past. Oh wait, DNA is really considering making a very sneaky play onto these members. No flash for Faisal, remember.
Staying in that bush. This is rough right here. It's one of those plays where if it works out, it's big. If it doesn't, it's so much time wasted just standing in that bush. And now trying to get the scatter of the week. They're going to find it. It pays off. DNA and Lagrange get the sneaky play onto poor Faisal.
Recall denied, but DNA's okay with that one. The greed pays off. And look in mid lane too. City Witty is able to take the mid wave and deny that mid push from Evil Genius's Prodigies too. Everything coming online for Ginger Turmeric. Oh no. If I saw us watching back on this one, I can't believe you fell for it. You gotta be more careful, buddy.
Rough spot for Faisal as he eats death number 3. Despite putting as much pressure as he has put into that top lane, his tower will be the first one to fall. Resistance getting some cash in, well needed, thanks to the backup of DNA with that Scatter of the Week. That is the pick potential that we were talking about, though, Smacks. You know, if you have the advantage of the Fog of War and DNA can see you, but you can't see him, Scatter of the Week is soon to follow.
Harry maneuvering around this top side of the rift, already used his stealth zone, so Duking engages.
Over the wall, Existence gets the damage and cuts down Dapshin. Jumping in will be Leo, gets knocked up in the process and gets the kill onto Lagrange. Duo King falls. Teleporting in, Faisal looks to join the fray. Scatter of the Week gonna land onto nothing as City Witty waits over the wall. Another orb drops. The rest of Ginger Turmeric are just looking for retreat here. Don't want to lose anymore. They've already lost their bot lane.
Excellent spell placement there for Leo in the tight corridor, able to stun up multiple members with his ultimate as well. Just so much damage. Harry's getting some resets. This is the exact win condition for Evil Genius's Prodigies. If they can pick off members one by one, they have enough sustain in the tank to fuel the rest of the team fight thanks to Viego. And they can do that right now. They can move into this mid lane. Unless City Witty can do anything to stop this, I don't think so.
City Witty's been really struggling as we get into these team fights. You don't get the isolation when you're in a team fight. It's hard for Kha'Zix to be as useful. The first thing evolved there as well was the Q, was the claws. So missing out on that damage definitely hurts. You want to find someone in isolation. You want to get that assassination. Try and take down Sketch. Try and take down Faisal. But if they're grouped together like that, if they're a complete unit, it's going to be a tough, tall task to ask for.
City Witty not yet a reset champion either. He's got claws and spikes, so waiting until the third evolution to get the jump duration, or not duration, range, and then uptime afterward. Or City Witty just waiting for that one until level 16 if he can manage it. If the game is still going on at that point, this has been a pretty explosive series. Desirux could turn at any moment. Ginger Turmeric especially has been known to take some very sneaky barons, so if they can manage that, this might end faster.
Gauging the map here, we have 35 seconds before the Drake spawns, 22 minutes into this game. No one at Dragon Soul Point just yet. Harry looking to stalk over towards this bottom side. You have Leo down there who does have the teleport available. There's plenty of wards to flank for EGP. You do see one of those deep ones on the red buff area.
Oh yeah.
Placed by EGP. It's still the map being controlled by Ginger Turmeric as they take the mid lane inner tower, spreading very carefully as they rotate from the bot in mid lane, dancing around the Drake.
Turmeric actually get quite a bit off of the Rift before this Drake begins. You have to see if they can make the Drake fight work as well. As we said in the draft, they have to act very quickly if they don't want to get burned to a crisp by all of these Ziggs bombs. Look at it cool down.
Ooh, onto Daption. DNA gets it. That is a free pick, and now a 4v5 flashing over the wall. Perry will flash and survive as the Inferno Bomb goes down. A good chunk of health onto Ginger Turmeric. Faisal now with the chase, but EGP, they lose one. It's enough to forfeit the Drake.
You don't really need Daption at that point to keep going in the Drake pit, but they don't really feel comfortable without their main front line to go for any type of poke. As we just saw what happened to the tankiest member on the team, if Duo King lands the dredge line, you are just dead. Very well played for Ginger Turmeric. We got 3 Drakes to their names now, and in 5 minutes time, EG Prodigies have to do that again to hope they don't get picked off just like before.
24 minutes into this game. It is a 2K lead, bridging onto 3, as Ginger Turmeric are able to hold some form of control in the team fights, but EGP, when they get their openings in, they have been shown to slug it out. Could really be anyone's game at this stage. It is wild how close both of these teams are.
Especially Leo has done a great job in these fights so far on this Irelia. I've been very impressed by him specifically in this game. And more so than usual, I will say. I think most of the team fights for Evil Genius's Prodigies, especially last tournament, were really hard carried by both Sketch and Faisal. So it's really good to see Leo pulling his weight on this counterpick champion that he has for himself. Expect big things for him, and I'm sure Evil Geniuses as an organization does as well. So for him to carry this game and this set of team fights would be really, really big. Let's see if he can do it.
Getting at those crucial moments of the game. Look at the flank coming out from Duo King. He's trying to cut off the rest of EGP, but EGP are going to pull the trigger before it can be pulled on them, taking down Existence. It's now going to be a 5 versus 4 in favor of EGP this time. City Witty tries to chunk out some damage onto Leo and Perry. Will force the ultimate out of Perry, used defensively to get away from City Witty. Scout of the Week goes down, but EGP, they're not going to find much else. They're very happy grabbing that kill onto Existence and getting their map pressure back.
About half a minute of time with that kill to use with no Gwen on the Rift. It's like they're just going to use that time to get a positional advantage around this Baron. Maybe take some recalls too. They need to get some nice gold into the pockets of specifically Perry. He's going to get a pickaxe and a ward, most importantly, alongside the armor. So back onto the Rift with you. The Viego is here, and DNA is worse for wear thanks to the Ziggs bomb.
You feel the tension in this one. It's going out to the late stages. 8, 26 minutes into this. And both teams, they've been very happy with taking these small victories and walking away from it.
The small victories are sometimes going to be enough to cascade into an entire series victory, though. So it's definitely... It's small in terms of the game, but not in terms of this entire tournament. As Duo King just barely dodges outside of the Flawless Duet. No stuns to be landing on top of him. We look bottom lane instead. Existence actually has been farming up a Storm and is matching the CS of Faisal finally in this game. They're the same level for the first time in a very long time.
Yeah, that was a lane in the early game where Faisal was up 30 to 40 CS really early on. Existence surviving it out, still farming up, still doing okay as Leo pushes another wave in towards the top side, trying to manage these waves. Good time to get them managed because a minute 20 left before that Drake spawns. Ginger Turmeric are 1 Drake away from getting the Ocean Soul. Would be a pretty good win condition set up to close out EGP.
Yeah, it would actually give them enough in the team fights to match the sustain of the Viego on the resets. It would also help them survive the poke of Jace and Zig. So it accomplishes 2 birds in 1 stone, or kills 2 birds in 1 stone. And oh boy, Daption, you gotta run, man. You just got first striked.
That isolation damage. 1 combo, half health. Daption taking the recall. It's 45 seconds before this Drake does spawn, and Ginger Turmeric are so quick on setting up on this side of the rift, looking for another pick with the Scatter of the Weak. Faisal being quicker, able to dodge out of the way, but still deep into the jungle is Ginger Turmeric.
No Viego ultimate for this next team fight. Of course, there is the caveat that if he kills somebody, he gets his ultimate again, but he can't do it at the start. That's a really big portion of Viego's mobility at the beginning of these fights. So we're getting the stealth zone for Perry.
Teleport.
He's right in the melee range of Duo King. One dredge line would end it.
2 teleports. Existence joins the fray, so does Sketch. Jumps forward. Perry tries to find more. Daption goes for the engage. So much damage on the DNA! In the blink of an eye, he's gone in a heartbeat. It's a double kill going over to Leo. He chases down Lecrae. Existence is isolated, but there is no Kha'Zix to back you up. City Witty is running for the hills as he hops right over the wall. EGP will take down 3 and grab Baron, making it look all too easy. Getting City Witty in the process.
That was so close for City Witty. He was really trying to make the steal work, but it was too little too late. Evil Genius's Prodigies 4-0 on the play, and that is the team fight skill that I wanted to see from Leo all along here, Deserux. The Irelia finding the kills, and they go directly to the Baron.
EGP, they're taking the lead, they're taking control, they're taking these team fights, fighting ever so crucially, ever so carefully. Daption fearless with that engage, smacks right into DNA, and that's what we saw in game number 2. Punish DNA's over-aggression when he walks forward like that, just engage on him. It is working for EGP in this game 3.
Yeah, incredible stuff from Daption, getting the fight started off on the right foot for Evil Genius's Prodigies on this comfort pick Rel that we highlighted before. He is not in the meta, couldn't be further from it, but he is still making it work. He's making a meta of his own. You gotta respect that from the support player of Evil Genius's Prodigies.
30-minute game thus far, 2K lead over to EGP. As Ginger Turmeric, they don't exactly feel that lead EGP's way. They're playing like they own the Rift. The moment they get on, instantly start pushing those waves forward. You still have in the bottom lane, Faisal getting a immune wave shoved in, but it's Baron buff going the ways of EGP. You wouldn't really guess it with the plays that Ginger Turmeric are looking to do.
Barry taking so much damage. That's the pick potential. It's still there. Even if you just won a last team fight, you still have to be very careful. That's why he's building this Death Dance item to be more durable. So Daption is waiting for another engage. He's got Hex Flash. So even though he used Flash in that last team fight, the options are not fully dwindled. Oh, Deserux. We're getting to a point where EG Prodigies, they're one engage away with this Baron from ending the game. They need to do it within this next few minutes, or next Baron timer, I should say, to actually have it be effective.
Perry's looking for more. Out comes Hook. Duo King will be able to get away, but Perry's now isolated. DNA over the wall will assassinate Sketch. A knock-up onto Daption. Existence is by himself, but he doesn't need any backup. He will chase away the remaining members of EGP, and just like that, back and forth, forward and back, and one forward smacks. This game is being brought.
Man, that is absurd for Ginger Turmeric DNA. Live by the Syndra, die by the Syndra at this point. You walk too far forward as Syndra or against her, and something is going to happen. Somebody is going to get killed. Ginger Turmeric, they decide to make the strike in the skirmish, and they take the mid lane inhibitor. The first in this game. They strike true. Deserux, I was hyping up Evil Genius's Prodigies for being close to ending the game. I guess they're both close to ending the game.
All right, if fate dictates anything, it's that the next team fight is going to be won by EGP. The one that follows Ginger. After that, EGP. It's been back and forth with these smacks. This kill line doesn't tell you as much of a story as just how competitive this game has been.
That's been true all day, honestly. You just gotta ignore
right,
those
all
numbers.
day.
For real. The last game of the first series should definitely tell you that. So we are past midnight now where I live, by the way. It's been a long day. Parry caught out.
Ooh, chunk of damage on the Daption. Here comes the teleport looking to come in from the flank. Will be Existence. And will he find it though? Trying to bide his time.
Leo?
He doesn't want to go
Leo?
in too soon, but here comes the deep dive coming up. Leo scatter the weak unleash power onto Leo, but he goes golden. He will dash away, but get caught on the back end by Lagrange. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Top laner for mid laner. EGP. Holy moly, man. 35 seconds until the Drake spawns, and another fight you know it's just dying to come this way.
But Existence used teleport. Leo did not. Existence does not have anything left to provide to this next Drake fight. And even though he's going to be alive sooner than Leo, Leo might arrive faster all the same. Evil Genius's Prodigies, they still have the same thing in mind. They want to deny the Drake soul away from Ginger Turmeric and try to fight for this next Baron afterward. 3 seconds on the clock for Drake. It's spawning. City Witty's first to the fight.
All right, this is going to be a 4v4. 10 seconds till Leo spawns, gets that teleport. Ginger Turmeric need to
so
blast
fast.
it, and EGP need
It's
to
there.
engage. Dragon Soul's picked up by Ginger Turmeric. Duo King going to be the sacrificial lamb to buy time for Ginger Turmeric to grab that and get out. EGP too slow to the punch.
Duo King falls, but that's fully worth it for Ginger Turmeric. They have the Ocean Soul now. They acted so fast on instinct, and they're rewarded for it. 4 Drakes to their name. They can go for the next team fight and know that they have so much sustain, so much extra innate tankiness in their champions for the remainder of this game. This DNA doesn't want this blue buff stolen.
It's one of the fun things about the Syndra. It's hard to steal
Yeah.
a blue buff away from a Syndra. Mine! Mine!
He's got the ego book too, by the way. 8 stacks on it. Not quite hitting the movement speed threshold, but he's close. 1 more kill or assist would do it in this next fight.
35 seconds. Baron hits the map. 5 minutes. Elder Drake hits the map. Either way, one of these teams is hitting the floor. I'm just waiting for the next team fight to come this way. It's going to be hard for EGP to get in the same level of poke for these neutral objectives contentions that they had before. Now that the Ocean Soul has been acquired by Ginger Turmeric, they can just heal up days. Daption over the wall, places that control ward, spots out City Witty, who's just been waiting for so long in so many of these bushes, stalking out, just waiting for someone to slip up, step into the wrong one, and get destroyed.
It's stopwatch time right now, Desrex. We've got 1 for City Witty, DNA, and Parry. Lots of stasis to go around, not to mention the Zonias of Sketch and Existence. Those are key cooldowns to keep track of in this next fight, which very well could be the last. Parry chunked low, dodges out on the sphere right there, and wants to find an engage with Daption, who has real flash this time.
Duo King's looking for it. He goes right after Daption. Daption gets destroyed. Can't even get the ultimate off. Can't even get a chance to fight as EGP start to retreat. Parry jumps into trying to defend. It's going to block the unleashed power. He flashes away. He dashes away, but he gets caught anyway. A shutdown going over to DNA and Ginger Turmeric. It looks like they've done it. So much wave clear onto Sketch, but all 5 strong is Ginger Turmeric.
I think this is it, Desrex. I think this is the last game of the day. A flash hook on the Sketch.
Leo goes down, but not before taking one with him. Goes into the resurrection. Gonna burn out that GA, but gets burned down in the process. Gets City Witty with him.
Leo?
He fights tooth and nail. It's a good attempt, but it will not come through. Lagrange takes him down. 4 down. Daption just coming off of the respawn as Ginger Turmeric are looking to close.
Can they do it? Do they have enough power in the tank to actually take this one down? Faisal has some damage. He needs to use it on this minion wave so that the turret stays alive. The inhibitor just respawned. They can't end on this push. Parry's alive. You gotta run.
You gotta be kidding me. Inhibitor comes back up. Ginger Turmeric cannot close out. And EGP, they get another life. They get another chance to fight back and potentially take down Ginger Turmeric.
One more chance is really all they have in this one. They can't afford anything else. I know I said that before, but now it's really true. I really thought they were going to lose off of that push, but they got a little bit lucky. There's still in it for now. Moving over to this Baron buff, Ginger Turmeric, no, they can't actually start this. They cannot risk that. They are also one mistake away from losing.
So tense is this game. Setting up for Baron. 2 minutes until Elder Drake. City Witty waiting way in the flank out there. He's been doing this all game, just waiting for someone in isolation to walk towards him. Now stalking towards the mid lane as Leo doesn't realize what awaits over that wall. City Witty shows up with the missiles, pops it. The poke damage starts to come in from Ginger Turmeric, not EGP. It's Ginger Turmeric who have the Ocean Soul and can easily heal up from the bombs and the Shock Blast.
And Daption has the flash, he has the snap engage potential that we know he is capable of on this champion, and he has shown it to us in the past as well. Can he actually make this work in the mid lane while the Ginger Turmeric are stealing away this Baron in stealth?
So risky. So risky, but it's working.
It's paying off.
It's absolutely working. The Super Inferno Death Bomb. Jinx, you gotta mix them all together when you have those two ultimates, but I was getting afraid there that it was about to steal away Ginger Turmeric. They're going to be able to take it, but here comes the engage coming out of EGP, realizing that they have a disadvantage that they can work with as they try and take down DNA. Getting one onto Duo King. Now running away is going to be Lagrange. Lagrange tries to find an escape route. Perry coming to do the collapse. City Witty in existence. Have to back off. Don't disrespect Faisal or Dapton. Knocked over the wall, looking to back off. City Witty now taking the recall. Baron was grabbed, so you have the Baron-empowered recalls. They should be there on time to provide a defense.
Duo King and DNA are dead. Elder Dragon in less than 40 seconds at this point. Evil Genius and Prodigies going to get all this mid lane priority while they have the chance right now. So they can move into the Elder Drake pit and take the biggest buff off of the map right now. See if they can actually manage this. They still have 5 members strong. City Witty trying to make that less.
So disrespectful. City Witty almost gets caught by a stun. Leo throws one out. 13 seconds left before the Elder spawns. A reset is needed for EGP. City Witty is trying to buy as much time as possible because look at the mid lane marching forward is going to be Ginger Turmeric. The rest of the squad, Existence, as well as Lagrange, clearing waves. The Elder Drake is up, but I don't think Ginger Turmeric really care that much. They're just going to send City Witty to attempt to get a steal while the rest of the squad go for the end.
How much can you commit to this Elder Dragon right now? You have to teleport back into the base. That's exactly what they're doing. Can they actually secure this buff, though? Into the base!
City Witty gets it! He gets the steal! City Witty gets the kill as well! And this is disaster for EGP! Scatter the weak are EGP! The strong are Ginger Turmeric! As they take down one of the hottest North American developmental squads when it comes to prospects. They came out of nowhere, Smacks. This Turkish monster in existence, having DNA there. The rest of the squad, they show up big, and they send EGP to rest.
41 minutes into this one, Desterux, and they have earned it into the upper finals here for Ginger Turmeric. They are moving on to play against Immortals AoE, and they just won it the same way. They just ignored the team and went straight to the Nexus.
Oh, it was a tough call, right? You don't want them getting the Elder Drake. It is another nail in the coffin that could be there. They try contested. City Witty says, no, we're getting it anyway. It belongs to me. And so does this dub. Oh, what a victory to come out of the squad of Ginger Turmeric. There's a reason why this squad was hyped up. Even though they are 10th seed, they are a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, I'm so excited for Ginger Turmeric. These guys showed us a ridiculous performance today. And honestly, I don't know how this next match is going to go against Immortals AoE. This feels like such a tense matchup. Everybody in this group so evenly matched. It could have gone either way in both series. Group B, group banger.
Group B.
You said it before. It's true.
Yeah. Group banger. Well, that is going to do it here for the Castiness. My name is Eric Deserix. I always love casting with you, Sam Smackside. What a day, what a series. We are exhausted. We're going to close it out here, send it over to the analyst desk, who I'm sure are just as exhausted as us, but got a little bit more work to do in dissecting this game. Ravish, take it away, brother.
And the bell tolls from whom as it is past midnight here as well. It seems as though the bell tolls for EGP. You get taken down at a 2-1 in what can only be described as a absolutely banger series in Group B. I think you could have said it. I think I could have said it better myself here, Smacks. Group B indeed is the group of bangers, and we got 2 of those today. So, gentlemen, let's talk a little bit about our final series of the night. Inoki, actually, you know what? I want to come to you, man. How are you reeling from all that? Just watching that happen to you.
Dude, this is my first time ever on the analyst desk, and I don't know how you guys do this man, this is not good for my blood pressure, bro. These games are insane. Like, it's just throw and twist and turn after one after another, man. It's insane.
Oh, dude, these games like Twizzlers, bro. You don't know what's going to happen. It's just completely roundabout every single time. And just when you think you got to the end, there's another throw right at the back of it. And things continue getting more exciting. So let's break down how exciting that game was, RMC. Because right from the jump, we thought, yo, did Turmeric have it? It's slow, it's controlled, it's macro.
Yeah, I really liked the Syndra Kha'Zix, and I thought that would be the lane that Ginger Turmeric would really pop off in, right? You get the kills down. You know, even if it's an Irelia who should win out in the 1v1 against Syndra, once you throw in the Kha'Zix, things will be mixed up. We talked about, you know, Gwen is immune being sort of the tagline there for Ioki. Well, Ioki, good news. This game, Gwen was not immune, and that's why Existence struggled so hard this game as well. And huge props to EGP. They knew what their composition wanted to do to Siege, and they knew how to leverage it. And that's really what made the game as exciting, I'll call it, as it ultimately came down to be here, dragging us right down to the wire once again.
And so many of those plays were right around the dragon, right? That bot side control, the consistent back and forth, the tug of war that seemed to never stop. So let's see where it started, RMC. Let's look at that first replay, right? Where we look right around Dragon's Soul and that fight which seemed we thought would end all fights.
Yeah. And I think actually, Ioki, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I just want to give huge props to EGP. Like, the difference between EGP in game 2 and 3 and EGP in game 1, it looks like they were actually playing the game this time. They were playing and finding fights on their terms, like this right here. Huge engaged by Daption, actually looking for proactivity. You love to see it. Almost a 5-man rel ult. That, I mean, that would have been Synapse, but still comes away with like a good 2 or 3-man ult, which opens up a nice fight. They get to pick up a couple kills here. Kha'Zix, I think Kha'Zix flashes back in here, almost steals it. But dude, there's just so many like breathtaking moments in this game. Like, literally came down to inches is what determined this game, like over and over again.
I mean, millimeters is what I would describe it as, but that's fine, you know. Everybody uses different systems. Some use the right ones, some use inches, so that's fine.
Oh, okay.
Whoa, okay. We're going past all that, right? Because you saw how after that point, the game was played on a knife's edge. Small picks and even trades are allowed with the game to snowball, but it did seem as though the EGP was going to come back. They had an insane fight, RMC. It seemed as though things were all over. And then City Witty. Oh, the great City Witty.
Yeah, and I love that clip was what we had for the replay as well, because it's almost foreshadowing. Like Ioki said, you know, City Witty jumping in, trying to get that steal. Didn't work for the Soul, but more importantly, it worked for Elder, and that's what really mattered here. It was already really dicey for the side of Ginger Turmeric here, and they actually sent Existence to go and try and backdoor this. But City getting in and securing the Elder meant that they win no matter what happens here. They win this fight, they get the backdoor. Not to mention Existence was already there as well with Lagrange. So if anything, it just allowed a cleaner finish to come through. But Rav, plays like that don't come from, you know, a one-sided game. It doesn't come when Ginger Turmeric was in control. This comes from the chaos that happened before all of this and the mental fortitude for both the teams, especially Ginger Turmeric, to make that sort of split call at this decisive moment here. Huge props to them, and I think that's why they ended up winning this super clutch close series here.
And without a little bit of chaos, RMC, I think we would not have had fun today, right? Because I think that's exactly what we want to see. That's exactly what we got out of both of these series. We got the 2-1s. Unified Live got the 2-0s. So I'm really not surprised with the results that were on there personally. And on here, just Turmeric and Immortals AoE. By the end of it, we were all right, on the desk, but it did just take a couple of games to get that precursor going. So shout out to all the teams that played today. Aoki, I did want to get your final thoughts on the game and just your experience today in general.
Yo, crazy games. Honestly, like I said, it's my first time ever doing this. The teams put on an incredible performance. Both of them, and the first set was insane too. Really, just like crazy games. Just watching one of these set of threes is like a perfect showcase for this league and for what these these players are capable of.
I could not agree more. RMC, give me a 10-word wrap up.
Oh man, 10 words too many to count.
23. That's right. Final thoughts. Give it to me, RMC.
Best night ever, man.
All right.
Really solid place to come through.
That's what I want to hear. I want to appreciate y'all for being with me. We do have Duo King ready and waiting, so I'll load him in as well. But I want to thank you, gentlemen, for being on the desk with me. You were phenomenal, and I appreciate you and your big brain efforts. We'll see you back here soon, I'm very sure. We got the one only Duo King with us, baby. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. We just won, so it's hard to feel bad.
That's what I like to hear, bro. Of course, after the win like that, your heart must be pumping out of your chest, right? But you were mentioning, so far with your role of the game, was there some more that you think that you could have done, or was it like support or life? I ward, I CC, I maybe die, I maybe live.
Yeah, there were actually a lot of times where I was like, if I played this game at all and practiced, it would have gone way better because I missed a lot of engages and I just got carried. But that's fine.
Yeah, that's okay, man. Sometimes we get carried, but I find with what you contribute to your team still was absolutely invaluable, right? Y'all definitely played as 5, and it was a lot of fun to be able to watch y'all too. Just talk to me a bit more about those final couple of team fights too, right around the Soul and then Elder as well, because things seem to be so close, but almost falling out of your hands.
Yeah, I was just thinking in my head, oh my god, we're gonna lose again because DNA is getting engaged on. I'm gonna but my team will give them a hard time, so I'm just gonna say nothing. But then my teammates pulled through and gave me the win, so that was good.
That's what we like to hear. DNA, of course, this guy was popped off. Honestly, just what happened on the Anivia 2, this guy's performance was sick. A little bit of unfortunate incidences here and there, but that doesn't necessarily matter. We're not talking about those, right? And a lot of couple questions for you as well. Considering how you guys played today, right? Is there some more that you want to show for yourself as a player? Maybe you guys as a team, or not?
I'm trying to play center support and win a game. Yeah. I never win when I pick it and I'm laning with another marksman. Other than that, I don't know. I don't really have anything to prove. I'm just trying to see if we can win.
All right.
Hopefully we can.
You know what? I don't disagree. I think winning is pretty great. Any final shout outs for you as well, homie? To people watching or anybody else?
Yeah, shout out Argentum Sky. He's the best coach I've ever been on a team with. So I'm serious, and he's the highest ranked. He's smartest about the game, and he cares about the players. He'll accept me and my bot laners' interesting ideas about the game, and yeah, he trusts us. He's a good guy.
All right, big shout out Argentum Sky doing his due diligence, being a good coach, and paying y'all your respect. Love to hear that. I want to thank you coming on, Duo King, man. Phenomenal games for y'all, and I cannot wait to see what you guys do going forward in the tournament.
Thanks so much for having me on.
Of course, man. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that will be it for us here tonight. I want to thank you all for watching for these phenomenal games. And we want to give a big shout out to, of course, our casters, Smacks and Destructs, everybody on the desk, RBM, RMC, and Aoki. And, of course, all the production on the back end, including Hyper, our observers, Victor Flight, and, of course, Emery, Garrett for doing their thing. And I've been Ravish, the most ravishing man of the internet. Yeah, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.